Hi, this is Jake Webb from Anthology's product management team, and in this video I'm going to talk about the new post-assessment grades automatically setting that is now available for assignments and tests. Now the default behavior for this new setting is for tests it's going to be automatically turned on, and for assignments it's going to be turned off by default. And that's going to be for any new assignment or any new test. If there's any existing assignments or tests in your courses, then instructors are going to have to go in there and configure those based off of their preferences. We just want to make sure that when we release this functionality that we didn't impact any existing activities, any existing assignments and tests. And so it's going to be kind of an opt-in on how whether or not how you want this to behave for those existing activities. Now, as we take a look at this, postgrades automatically helps to solve a couple of challenges. The first challenge is related to automatically graded tests or question types. So there have been instances in the past where instructors would create tests that had nothing but automatically graded questions. And so when that is the case, after a student completes their test, they would automatically see their grade. They would know if they did well or poorly on the assessment. In some high stakes environments, instructors don't want students to be able to see their grade, because if they are able to see their grade, even though they're not able to see their questions or their answer choices, the correct answer choices, things of that sort, because they had a high grade, that would give them the confidence in knowing that they pretty much knew all the answers on the test, and then they could maybe go share that with another student. So there's an academic integrity concern by having that final grade release automatically. And so some institutions or instructors would actually add a short answer essay question, a non-auto-graded question type, to the assessment to prevent that final grade from displaying. And so when instructors were ready to display that final grade, they would go in and maybe automatically they would grade that essay question, and then they would release that grade to the entire class. But it was really just a stopgap measure or a workaround because we didn't have this post grades automatically setting. So now that we have that, I'll go ahead and show you the behavior for a student when post grades automatically is turned on, and also when it is turned off. And so as we come into the student preview, we'll go ahead and do our first one, the post grades automatically, and we'll view the assessment. So here we have an auto-graded question. We'll go ahead and answer that. And there is a manually graded question. So even though the post-grade setting is turned on, the grade's not going to get released automatically just yet because it still requires the instructor to put in some input. Okay. But we'll show how that post-grades setting applies to that. So we'll exit out of here. We'll come back in now as the instructor, and we'll go to our submission, and we'll go to the first attempt. Now, as I come in here, what you'll want to keep your eye on is up here, I think in the top left. As soon as I enter a grade and grade this, it's going to post the grade to the grade book. And so here you can see it's posted. It has been updated, and that's because that post grades automatically setting is on. So as soon as I grade all of the questions that were ungraded, it's going to automatically post that grade to the student. So it's a nice convenience option. So as you're grading, you don't have to grade all of the questions and then come up here to the top right. There would be another button here that would say post grades. The assessment is just going to go ahead and automatically post the grades because that setting is enabled. And of course, if this was just a quiz or test that had nothing but auto-graded questions, then it would just post automatically. There would need to be no intervention on behalf of the instructor. Now let's take a look at what this looks like for when the setting is disabled. So we'll come in. Again, as a student, we'll make a submission on this test that has post grades automatically turned off. Hit true, put in some text here, we'll hit submit. All right, now that's submitted. Again, it's not posting that grade automatically. but that's because the setting is disabled, and of course because there's a manually graded question type. Now, as we come in here as an instructor and we take a look at the submission, there's going to be a key difference in behavior now. So the oh, you know what? There is no manually graded question. So this would normally just auto grade and post because this is just a single auto graded question. And there's no manually graded question either. So this would typically get released. But in this case, because postgrades automatically is turned off, even though it's fully graded, it's not going to automatically post the grade. So as an instructor, I would need to come in here and manually post the grade. And so that's the biggest difference between that setting when it's turned on and when it's turned off. Well, it's whether or not those grades will post automatically. And we can have a slight delay, if we add a manually graded question type. But as soon as that manually graded question type is graded, then it will release that grade to the student. So that is how the postgrades automatically functionality works. Now there is a little bit of a warning. So when we do create a new test from scratch and we do something that's a little bit out of normal behavior, so we'll go ahead and add a multiple choice question test here. And you'll see by default, postgrades automatically when this is graded. So we see that text here, we know it's going to grade automatically. But if we come in here and add in, let's see, an essay question, and hit save, you'll notice a new banner will display here. And this is just informing us because the behavior when it comes to grading might be different than what we expect if we're kind of a long-time user of the Ultra Course View. So since we've added a question that requires manual grading, we're being prompted or asked if we want grades to post automatically or do we want them to be posted manually. And so this gives us a call to action, the ability to come in here and make that change. So just a nice little tool tip there, a little additional guidance, especially for those that might not be familiar with this as they start building assessments in the future and what that behavior looks like. So I hope this was clear enough. Please feel free to engage in the community if you have any questions about it. But we're really excited to release this. We think this is going to help streamline grading efforts, especially for those that don't want to manually post grades. But I think this is also going to provide flexibility for those that do want to delay that final grade from posting for students for academic integrity reasons or maybe for another reason. But thank you so much for your time and thank you for watching this video.